The Tylt asks endless questions to you guys, from easy things like your peanut butter preferences to harder, more serious conversations like how you're handling the climate crisis. And every single time we ask you one of those questions, we do actually listen to you guys. We hear your voices, and that really is why we do what we do. One of the things that we've been picking up from you guys is an increased interest in and awareness of the gender spectrum. So we wanted to take a moment to explore what that might mean. So we caught up with actor, model, and activist Snipes, who recently came out as non-binary and uses they, them, theirs pronouns. Modeling and acting in particular are industries completely run by the gender binary. When you take a step back, you kind of can see that everything is separated into male and female categories. So was generous enough to talk to us about what the future of those industries might look like in a world that's much more accepting of gender fluidity.
Okay. We are about to go interview actor and model Snipes. We're going to my personal favorite cafe, Cafe Grumpy, to sit back on their back patio and just talk about modeling, acting, activism, and all that good stuff. So we're really excited to get to meet them and talk to them about their career.
No. What do they got here? What's good? Are you from here?
I'm actually originally from Atlanta.
Oh, I lived in Atlanta for a year.
B-Hawk is featured in the FX series Pose.
Florida ferocity, serving us best dressed against Dane and Lamar Evangelista, old school style.
We caught up with B-Hawk the day after the Emmys, which was a huge day for anybody that is a fan of Pose, because the show came away with a nomination for Outstanding Series, a nomination for casting, and one of the stars of the show, Billy Porter, won really big. B-Hawk has obviously had an incredible career so far and has gotten involved in multiple different capacities when it comes to fashion, acting, and modeling. But they told me that they actually began their career as a stylist. So I was curious how they went from being behind the camera to in front of it.
I'm from the Bronx, New York, so that's already a dramatic series in itself. And I went to LaGuardia High School for dance and performing arts. So that's when I really got the bug in entertainment world. Like, do I really want to do this as a career? I went to FIT for 2 years and did fashion design. So I was like, okay, I got a whole bag of tricks here. I got a lot of things going on that I can't figure out what I want to do with it yet. So after that, I did a lot of styling work with a lot of different entertainers and artists and things of that nature. But I knew, like, on different photo shoots, I would kind of be being myself, being very expressive, and the photographers always wanted photos of me instead of the artist. So I was like, something's happening here. So everyone was just like, you're a star. And I was like, you know what? I am a star, god dang it. So why style other people when I can just style myself and get the booking? So here we are.
Something that I think is hilarious that B-Hawk told me was that they almost didn't even go to the Pose audition, because when they got the casting call, they obviously saw that Ryan Murphy was the creator of the show, and B-Hawk's initial reaction was, what in the world does Ryan Murphy know about 80s ballroom?
A friend of mine hit me up in a DM and was like, oh, you should go out for this show called Pose. It's being created by Ryan Murphy. And I was like, what does Ryan Murphy know about ballroom in the late 80s that people of color kind of created? Been on since season 1 as a feature. So I've just been really excited. And it's just so overwhelming to be on that set and see people that look like you, people who have gone through the same experience as you, kind of just being free and telling their stories in a way, and people behind the camera as well, having such a diverse outlook of what America looks like and what the world looks like. And I think it's really, really important to see that when it comes to writing more for shows. Thank you, Stephen Canals and Janet Mock and everyone on that show, because they've changed the world and changed how we want to be perceived. And allowing people like me to write more, to tell our stories. I've been blessed to be around someone like Ryan Murphy, who is a cisgendered male. You know, he didn't have to create a lane for us or people like us to tell our stories. He didn't have to do that. He could have continued on with American Horror Stories and created, you know, more experiences for, you know, cisgendered white men, even queer white men. But he took a chance and he said, you know what, I'm going to be an ally to people who are voiceless and make that change. So it's important to have these conversations with people who have the power, to make the change, and mostly people who have the power in America are cisgendered white men.
Right.
So I think it's important to show up to the table. I like creating my own table, by the way. But it's important to show up to these tables. I'm just really excited about, you know, the conversations that we're having because of it. Billy Porter just won last night, you know, at the Emmys. So I was just like, it's mind-blowing that the Emmys have been around for I don't know how long, 50, 60 years or something of that nature. And he's the first openly gay black, you know, male to win an award.
The category is love, y'all, love. I am so overwhelmed and I am so overjoyed to have lived long enough to see this day. James Baldwin said, took many years of vomiting up all the filth that I had been taught about myself and halfway believed before I could walk around this earth like I had the right to be here. I have the right, you have the right, we all have the right.
Billy Porter is honestly like such a brilliant human being. He's been doing this for so long now, and it's awesome to kind of see him get the recognition and accolades that he deserves as an artist, as a creative. I'm just excited. I'm excited to see, you know, even someone of color getting on that stage is brilliant. So to see someone who's black and queer and proud, it's just like, it's overwhelming and it's exciting.
So something else we kind of talked through was BHawk's own goals and ideas for their future and the awards that they want to win in their acting career. And obviously with Billy Porter on the mind, he won Best Male Actor for a drama series, and BHawk was kind of thinking through, what does that mean for BHawk? Where do they fit into the award categorization system as it exists now?
For someone like me that identifies as non-binary, now I have to figure out where do I belong in these categories, in these boxes, and having that conversation. It's like, okay, I'm not quite a male actor and I'm not quite a female actress.
Right.
So if I do all this work, you know, and someone wants to, you know, hand me an award for something, what category are they going to put me in?
Right.
Do we have to make our own, or should everyone just be entitled to just be in one category for Best Actor, period? Right. So it's a whole conversation piece, and we'll see where it goes with that.
In addition to acting, BHawk is also a model and has walked for brands like Gypsy Sport and others, and also studied fashion in school. So I was really curious for BHawk's insight as to what the future of the fashion industry might look like.
I'm excited. I'm excited about where the fashion game is kind of going. I've walked for a couple of shows. I've hosted Dapper Q at Brooklyn Museum. I started off New York Fashion Week with that, and that was an amazing opportunity for someone who's a native New Yorker to be hosting a Brooklyn Museum for an LGBTQ plus queer show. I was ecstatic. I was like, I'm losing my mind. So just having opportunities like that is brilliant. Even if Vogue doesn't, you know, put us on the cover, we'll find another cover. We'll create our own covers, and I think everything will be fine. You know, be just fine. You know, seeing India Moore on the cover of Elle. I believe she was the first trans woman or woman of trans experience. Excuse me. And she also identifies as non-binary too. So they also identify as non-binary. See, I'm getting it. I'm getting used to it. I got you, India. I got you, girl. You know, I think they're starting to see that we can model as well. And you don't have to put us into these boxes. Just let people model the clothes. Clothing has no gender. Stop putting labels on things all the time. Everything is unisex. Go with it. Go with it. It's also a great marketing tool as well. Like, you make more money.
Why would you not?
Right. You make more money if you show more diversity on your runways, you know, because people can relate more. So I'm really excited about where the fashion game is going. I feel like they need to pick up the pace. but they're moving. I just
Please
said jury
share
duty, and you know, to correct people constantly on my pronouns, and you know, they're like, good morning sir and good morning ma'am, and you know, which I think is, you know, very polite, I guess. But now we kind of have to create a change. Now that we're evolving as a world, we have to create that change. A simple good morning is fine.
Right.
And people have to kind of get that into their heads, because you don't know how people identify anymore. We're going into very fluid times, especially in our future. So you don't know how people identify. So a good, cute good morning is just fine.
Yeah.
And I constantly have to figure out the vocabulary, even for myself as a non-binary person. Okay, like, I'm not a sir, I'm not a ma'am, so I don't know. I'm just B-Hawk.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how to even title it sometimes.
B-Hawk's story about jury duty really helped me to kind of place the impact that language can have.
I felt like in a place like a court system, I think it's really, really important, because they kind of make those decisions for how we kind of, right, they're part of the system. So, you know, I went in and I was like, my pronouns are they, them. Thank you. Respect it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get that confused face, like, but there's only one of you. And I'm like,
Oh gosh.
we're in 2019. You can now pick up a dictionary and see that they has a different definition now, or they've added to it and continued it. So the more you know, I tell people this all the time, the more you know, it could change, you know, someone's whole entire life and how they have conversations moving forward.
B-Hawk was, you know, very transparent about how if someone asks them a question, they are more than happy to answer it 99% of the time. But if they don't want to answer it, that's okay too. And you know, you shouldn't feel bad for asking questions and not getting an answer. But if you don't necessarily get one, turn to other resources. You know, B-Hawk even said you can Google it, and that's fine, as long as you're making the effort to get to know the people around you. So at the end of the day, B-Hawk's advice for as people ask more and more questions about the gender spectrum is pretty simple. Lead with love, be open to others, and do the work to find the answers to those questions.
Respect each other. To respect each other and be open-minded to change. I think we're living in a very, very interesting time right now in America and the world in general. And I think there's a lot of ignorance still here. So I think if people just move forward and lead with love and acceptance and being open-minded and being respectful of each other as individuals, I think a lot of people like to put people together in boxes and labels and all that stuff. But I think if someone tells you or corrects you and say that their pronouns are they, them, respect it.
Right.
You know, if you feel like you necessarily need to ask questions and that person wants to give you an answer, respect it, you know, and just be open-minded and have that conversation. But if I tell you I don't want to talk about it because I'm on the D train going home and I had a long day, just know that my pronouns are they, them. If you want to know more, you can follow me on Instagram. You can Google it. You know, we live in the future now. You know, we're in 2019, so it's time for people to just start doing the work and stop being lazy. And you know, you got to be with the times, honey. Be with the times, because you will get left back. You will get left behind. We're moving into 2020, and really great things are happening.
The good news is, asking questions really isn't that hard. As long as you are open to the information that you receive, you lead with respect and you lead with love, then you'll be able to find the answers and gain the understanding that you're after. So whether you are looking to an activist and an educator like B-Hawk, or you're at home and Googling it, all you have to do is realize your agency and your ability to actually go and ask. If there's a topic that you want to know more about, leave a comment below explaining what that is, and we will do our best to go after those answers for you. But also, let us know what you think about the Tell Me Everything series. Leave a comment and subscribe to the Tylt for more videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.